I am going to start this video off as raw as I possibly can. DC has lost its fan base. We have 8 out of 9 examples that says so, and we could potentially be adding another film into that equation with Joker Folie Deux. Now I know some are going to come into this comment section or even react to my video and tell me how toxic I am. However, I believe that those folks refuse to accept the facts for what they are. And your boy O will continue to speak facts on this channel. So don't shoot the messenger here. A lot of people are just delusional. They feel that as long as a film is well received amongst the critics and have a good audience score, that is a metric of success. However, if a film isn't making profit, then it is a failure. I'm sorry. They even have films that I have loved that has flopped at the box office, like The Creator. Great film, by the way. You guys should check it out. But that film flopped. You know, I did not distance myself from reality and try to argue with people about how successful the film is. No, if a film isn't making money, then it is a failure. Now today, we have some bad news for Joker Folie Deux, as it seems to me that its box office tracking numbers has been cut into half. That's right, baby. Just last week, I reported to you guys that Joker was tracking for $140 million domestically. Now, news articles was trying to compare the film to that of Deadpool and Wolverine. And what I said this film do not have to open to the likes of that of Deadpool and Wolverine, right? $140 million domestically will pretty much put the film on path to gross like $350 million in total, right? So the fact that the whole industry was trying to say, look, it's not doing as good as Deadpool and Wolverine was something that should have not been said, right? $140 million domestically was great for a sequel, especially when the original Joker film opened to $96 million domestically and walked this way all the way up to $368 million in total. Now today, World of Reels is telling us how bad this situation just has gotten. Let's get into this, ladies and gentlemen. And trust me, it is horrible. It is titled, Deadline, Joker Folie Deux now tracking at $70 million in its opening weekend. That is 50% of what I told you guys last week. If you had $1, you would have to take 2/4 away from that dollar. Like Eddie Murphy said on Raw, half, Eddie, half, I want half. Joker is down half, and it gets worse. Just hear me out here. It gets much worse. Let's go. Deadline, or let me make it a little bit bigger. Deadline is reporting that a $70+ million opening is now expected for Joker Folie Deux. If these numbers turn out to be accurate, then a $70 million start would be $26 million less than Joker's original opening weekend of $96 million. So adjusted for inflation, right? You will be looking at somewhat like a $70 million opening weekend, right? If this film was released back in 2019 alongside that of the Joker. So ticket sales are down. Down, baby. But wait, it gets worse. It's all making me wonder if studios would now be thinking twice before debuting their pricey blockbusters at festivals like Cannes and Venice. They have been burned too many times the last few years. No. You mean the audience has been burned too many times the last few years. They're starting to learn their lesson. Think Elemental, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I told you guys that film sucked. And Horizon. Now they have an update right here. This is where things goes to the worst side of this whole spectrum, right? Update. Some more bad news for Joker Folie Deux. Today's latest numbers has the film's pre-sales currently you need to think about that, well behind those of the Marvels and the Flash. Warner Brothers needs to steer this $200 million ship in the right direction before it's too late. It is too late. It is too late. You're already comparing this film to the Marvels and the Flash. Speaking of which, let's go see exactly what those two films managed to do at the box office. The Marvels had a $46 million opening weekend and an $84 million domestic total, and a worldwide total of just $206 million. Let's go to that of The Flash. The Flash had a $55 million opening weekend and a $108 million total and a $270 million worldwide total. You get where I'm going at here? So if Joker is tracking well behind these two films, we could pretty much say that the film may open closer to that of $35 to $40 million domestically. Now, I could be wrong, but it is tracking behind that of The Flash and the Marvels. Now, I would say this. The Joker may very well have more walk-ups added to his box office total, right? And also better legs. But the fact of the matter is, you're tracking well behind the first Joker and Captain Marvel 2, which is the Marvels, and The Flash. That is absolutely ridiculous at this very moment. That says you have lost your audience, ladies and gentlemen. Think about it like this. Those 8 flops that DC endured, if you took 5 of those films, their box office totals may very well equal to that of Batman versus Superman. Or to the Suicide Squad. Well, Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad was an outright flop. It was a disaster for Warner Brothers Discovery, right? Well, it wasn't Warner Brothers Discovery back then, but they were Warner Brothers. It was an absolute disaster, ladies and gentlemen. James Gunn ought to be ashamed of himself for how bad that film performed. But it goes to show you that your audience will not continue to let you screw over them, especially when you're not listening to them. They told you what they wanted. Look at Marvel, right? Marvel has hit some bumps in the road, right? Some flops, but they refuse to reboot the whole thing. What they said, we're going to course correct this. They brought back Robert Downey Jr. And look at DC. They're trying to reboot their universe. The fans were turned off by that. When are you guys going to acknowledge this all? It's facts. It is truthful. It's reality. The fans are starting to speak with their pockets on a daily basis regarding that of DC. They have dug themselves so deep into a hole, I do not see them coming out anytime soon. Now, many people believe that James Gunn's DC Universe will be the catalyst to bring DC back to the top. But you have to understand this. The first Joker film was well received amongst the general audience and also DC fans. And the second Joker film seemed to not be all of that interesting. Goes to show you making this thing a musical was the wrong choice. You brought in Lady Gaga, and not to mention you upped the budget, $200 million. The first Joker film had like an $80 million budget. Why would you put $200 million into a sequel that isn't doing anything differently here? This is absolutely ridiculous. This is a shame on that of DC and Warner Brothers. Yeah, this article is saying $70 million opening weekend, but you best believe it may not even hit that. I mean, come on, ladies and gentlemen. The Flash was tracking for 75 to 80, and look how that turned out. Absolutely ridiculous. And by the way, let's look at this stock that continues to drop. Oh, it actually went up a little bit, $8.34. When David Zaslav took over DC, the stock was at like $80, right? You know, now it's at $8.34, plus 0.68% in the last 24 hours. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. And just imagine if Joker Folie Do flops at the box office. Just imagine, ladies and gentlemen, this stock will fall even farther. It's only going up by the pennies here. It opened at $7.76, as high as $8.34, and as low as $7.75. So it could very well drop back down to $7 by the end of day, especially with this news breaking. No one wants to affiliate themselves with that of Warner Brothers or DC anymore. It is broken. It is damaged. It is something that should be acknowledged by those out there who's campaigning for them to be successful. They have a lot of work to do here, and they need to start by regaining the fan base. If they don't, then they will continue to fail. That is real. That is facts. And your boy ain't say one lie in this video. Prove me wrong. All of these flops, all of these failures, they just continue to pile up and pile up and pile up. They better hope James Gunn's DC Universe is that of successful. If not, then you could just kill it all. Don't even make DC movies anymore. That's how I feel. Stay away from animation. Stay away from TV shows. Stay away from movies. Because it seems that you would never do right by the fans and these characters. That's how I feel. Joker tracking for $70 million when I reported to you guys that it was tracking for 140 is ridiculous. Like, for real, there's no argument there. If you will attempt to argue with me on that, then you are a fool. That's how I feel. Especially knowing that it's tracking behind the Marvels and the Flash. Stock is below $10. Leadership is absolutely retarded. The direction is flawed. And not to mention, the fans are uninterested. David Zaslav, it is time for you to go. Like, for real. You ain't did nothing correctly since you stepped into the door, my man. How could you retain your job and fail so much on this level? I swear to you, it is epic. I'm your boy O. Hopefully you have watched this video all the way to the end up your boy out that algorithm. And if you're not subscribed, please be sure to do so. Trying to reach that magical number 10,000 subscribers, so I'll be highly appreciative. You will help me cross over that threshold by hitting that subscribe button. And if y'all gonna hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that notification bell, because YouTube absolutely sucks at notifying subscribers that content creators has uploaded videos to their platform. And don't forget to hit that like button to help me out with that algorithm, baby. But in the comments below, let me know what you think about Joker Folie or Deux tracking for $70 million. But also, its pre-sales is behind that of the Marvels and the Flash. And always remember, let it bon temps roulette. That means let the good times roll. But let me know in the comments below.